Hello, hello, and welcome to Luna and the Druid.
Hello, Luna.
Hi, Druid.
Nice to see you.
It's another Monday night. I'm so looking forward for this one because we are celebrating full moon today, and it's a special full moon because it's also a lunar eclipse. So the energy is just picking high, and we have a lot to talk about today. So the plan for tonight is talk about the full moon itself and the lunar eclipse. What does it mean to us? How it can affect our lives, and how can we take advantage of the energies? We will pull some cards, of course, and then at the very end, we will slow down and connect with ourselves. Jan will guide a beautiful full moon meditation. So that's the plan. So let's jump
Yeah,
straight away.
yeah. Jump in straight away, and the moon, and what a coincidence! The moon is in Libra, and we are on a journey through the tarot, and today we have arrived. This week we arrive at the Justice or Adjustment card, which rules Libra.
Oh, yes, Libra. Sorry.
It rules Libra, and Luna as an astrologer. Um,
Astrologer is a big stretch. I'm fascinated by astrology, but I
as
wouldn't call myself an astrologer. So.
as someone fascinated and interested and taking a bit of a dive into astrology, what can you tell us about Libra and the moon in Libra?
Well, Libra, being ruled by Venus, is responsible for relationship and seeks balance as well. And when we think about full moon in Libra, what comes to my mind first is that it will highlight all the areas of relationships, and it will show where it needs balance and where we need balance in general. It's not just relationship, it can be also about work, about self-love, self-care, what needs to be looked at. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this full moon is very special because on top of the highlighted energy of the full moon, which already illuminates so much, there is the energy of lunar eclipse, which will highlight everything at least 3 times. So the lunar eclipse amplifies all the energies and the influences of the full moon. Um, this full moon is known as a worm full moon. Worm as a little bug being underground. Would you like to talk about that a little bit as a druid?
As a druid, yes, of course. Um, when well, let me start with a small story. I live here on a mountain in Ireland. I live on a farmland that was farmed for many, many, many centuries, and lots of the land around my farm was grassland where sheep grazed for many years. And one patch of the grassland we wanted to turn into a fruitful vegetable garden. We took away the grass, we dug, found some stones, some rocks here and there, and to our crazy, crazy disappointment, no worms.
Hmm.
While I know as a permaculturist that the soil we're growing our food on needs to be teeming with life. It needs to be larvae, it needs to be bugs, insects, and especially there need to be worms to to rotate the ground, to rotate the compost, to eat uh, leftovers, and to turn that into compost. So what the first thing we did after was put hens there. We bought 5 hens and a chicken coop, and we let them roam into the vegetable garden. And um, though we managed to get some crops there, only the second and later years we managed to get big crops. So worms are of a vital importance for humanity, like bees, to survive. It's a vital importance to have life, to have a living soil where worms thrive. So, why is this called the worm moon? Because now we just passed the spring equinox. The earth gets warmer. The sun warms the soil. The worms hatch. The worms get out, get reborn again, get warm again. The soil gets teeming with life. We sow the seeds. The seeds and the roots can take even the wormholes to go quicker, to go easier into the ground. So every life in the ground, every food, every harvest is dependent on the worm. So we're so happy to have a moon, the first moon, or the April moon, as the worm moon. Yeah, it's just good for us. It's good for humanity, like the bees and the worms. We talk a lot about bees. We need bees to pollinate. If all the bees die, if all the bees die, we have to pollinate by hand. Well, we have free workers, which is much easier and much better. So bees and worms, they're vital to our food production.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to me, the full moon in Libra, which is the full moon, first full moon in sign, it's the first full moon this year of astrological new year. So everything gets rejuvenated, renewed. It's a completely new start. And having a sun in the sign of Aries, everything will become fiery, easier. The energy will be moving and flowing quicker. So
Yeah,
is the growth. Whatever we plant the seed in, and I'm talking here about literally the seeds we plant of the fruits and vegetables, but also the seeds we plant right now within our projects, creativity, also health, the things we decide to start will come to fruition easier with effortless energy. The spring is an amazing time to grow and to set new intentions.
it is. It is, and that's already a bit of the promise that the not only the physical seeds will be planted today in the meditation, but we also plant the metaphorical seeds. So prepare for that.
I can't wait. Yes. Um, Full moon as a time of intensified energies on top of a lunar eclipse will make us notice things. Um, will make us aware of things which previously were hidden. If there was an area of our lives which we didn't want to look at, it will be brought to the surface. Relationships will be highlighted right now. And I have such a wonderful example of this energy working in my life, not just people who didn't have previously interest in spirituality as much. Recently, they're asking me amazing questions. They want to go deeper. They want to highlight that aspect of their life. They want to connect more with their soul. And the second thing is for the last 4 days, I had the privilege to take part in Unleash the Power Within, the event organized by Tony Robbins and his team. Every day, 14 hours of deep work, spiritual work on the mental level, emotional, like everything was brought up to the surface. The main focus of the event was to crush our limiting beliefs. And it was such an amazing experience and thing to witness. 60,000 people in their homes, because it was an online event, were not just crushing old beliefs, but also planting new seeds. And at the very, very end of the event, all those 60 people, spiritual or not, were just meditating and sending love to the world, caring about the planet, bringing so much light that it is a beginning of a new era. I can see it already. And you will mark my words, April as a month will bring some positive changes. At the beginning, I may not look at the positive, but at the end goal of it, it will be so much more positive change in our lives. However, it'll happen if we did the work. If we haven't done the work, it may be a challenging time.
Yeah.
And speaking of work, the shadow work, which we call, will be highlighted at this time. It's happening already, and we may feel it for the next 3 days. And what is very important, if something comes up to the surface, for example, a limiting belief, something we weren't aware before, but if we'll see it, it's important to not to judge it, just to notice it and accept it and take appropriate action towards it, because right now it's a crucial time to make changes. It's
Yeah.
an ideal time to make changes.
It is, and limiting beliefs are actually one of the biggest blockades you have in yourself. And the most important one is that I need to have this sorted out first before I can achieve my dreams or my goals or the happiest time in my life. Yeah. How many people would say I first need a lot of money before I can do anything, and yeah, and the anything is important and the money is not important. So think
Money is
think
energy.
deeper. Think deeper. Money is replaceable. Money comes in and goes out. It's energy. It goes through. So money can never be uh, the big issue in manifesting change, manifesting the big life of your dreams. Uh, of course, having nothing at all, poverty, that's not good either. But once we have the basics in our life fulfilled, we can go for the higher goals, as Mr.
Tony,
Maslow already said.
Tony Robbins is the best example. He's a guy who had nothing, who grew up in poverty, and even he started to work really hard at the very young age. He lost everything, and he had just literally $5 in his pocket. And look at him now; he's a billionaire, helping people, and that's his actually mission, to help people and get them out of those limiting beliefs and help them to thrive in their lives. I'm a raving fan of Tony Robbins, so perhaps for the next couple of weeks I'll be talking about him a lot,
Good.
because his work is so inspiring, and he helped to change people's life, and it's the best example and the proof that change can be made. All we need to do is what? To take action. We
Yeah,
can't be holding ourselves back, because if we will, nothing will change. The universe will come and push us through changes in the way we not necessarily would want to. But if we take action, inspired and guided action, things may unfold differently, easier, because it was our decision. And the universe will always support what's in our best interest.
that's it.
Full moon
Yeah,
is also a great time to release and renew. So it's important around every full moon to ask yourself, what is that not serving me? What is that I want to let go of? What is that I want to leave? Which door to the past I want to close and prepare myself for renewed new energy?
yes, because Luna, when one door closes, two or three others will open,
Of course, absolutely.
and at least one. And what you're telling about taking action is so important. We already said it earlier in one of our shows. Knowing and not acting is the same as not knowing. So you can know, oh, I have to do this and this. If you don't do it, it's never going to happen. And one of the things I learned in my manifesting change lessons by my teacher Mike Dooley was show up.
Mm.
Show up. Like you can show up like us here on the YouTube, but also in person. Get out of your house. When I have it a tarot reading with a client, and she says, "Yes, I want to meet a lover." I said, "What do you do?" "Yeah, I'm at home." No, the postman might ring, and maybe the postman is your lover, but most likely the postman isn't the lover. Already has married or whatever. Go out, meet friends, meet new people, and when you meet new people, you'll most likely get acquainted, and from getting acquainted comes more the cup of coffee, quintessential cup of coffee, and the nice dinner, and there you are. And it happens all the time. And even if you, for instance, I have nothing against dating apps and dating websites and stuff like that, but I'm outgoing. I'm always on the road. I just back from 3 days in Galway, and being there, things happen. I went into a holistic shop in Galway today this morning to buy something I needed. They made a remark about my clothing. The discussion came, "What are you doing? Why are you in Galway?" I said, "I'm a reader, this and this and that." "Oh," they said, "we are looking for a reader in our shop."
Hmm,
If I wouldn't have been in Galway, I would never had that gig. So now in 2 weeks, I'll start my first Saturday up there. So
wonderful.
being out and about is where the opportunities happen, uh, and especially when you go to like the small shop, or a small event where you can interact with people, where you can talk to people, even in a pub. But look for places where people interact with each other, and that's where the magic happens. Show up.
Exactly.
Yeah, Luna, you've been talking about balance, also as part of Libra, and of course Libra is represented by the scales, and Lady Justice is represented by the scales, and that's in my tarot deck one of the most important things. I read at the top where this card is called Adjustment, and where
Mm.
the the person in the card is tiptoeing. And so there's this element of balance is there, and it's not only balance in yourself, but oftentimes life situations and the things that are happening, or even people, would throw you off,
Oh,
would say something that touches you, and you feel, oh, how do I approach to that? And that's where you go within. Take the other lessons of Luna and the Druid: introspection and strength and flexibility. Go within, look for the answer. Why am I thrown off balance? And get your act together again, and say, no, it wasn't true. It wasn't just I'm here, I myself. I'm stronger than this. I'm wiser than this, and I'll persevere.
mm. And that being thrown off balance can very often happen around a full moon. There is a saying that some person may become even a lunatic. It's because of the heightened energies. So, especially now, if you feel like the energy is just rising up to the surface, breathe. Take few, several deep diaphragm breaths to calm your mind, calm your body, calm the emotions. Because what is emotions? Emotions are energy in motion. So it's important to channel it right, because emotions can very often take control over our behavior. We say things we wouldn't necessarily say, and then we can regret them saying this. And words cannot be, the time cannot be turned back, and the words cannot be turned back as well. If we say something and if we hurt somebody, very often those words may stay with them. And this full moon teaches us the importance of relationships in our lives, and how important it is to take care of each other, and look which area is not balanced. Perhaps you're giving too much, or perhaps you're receiving too little. Perhaps you are being taken by emotions and you say or do things you wouldn't necessarily do. It's really good practice to look at this, especially right now.
Bingo. Yeah, there you have it. Um, yeah, and then find equilibrium, find the harmony back.
Mhm.
with yourself, also in harmony with others, like singing in harmony and dancing in harmony, aligning, uh, finding equal ground. Uh, that's yeah, that's what you need there. That's
Mhm.
what you need to find it.
Yeah. How do
Yeah.
you find your balance?
Well, there's two ways of balance. Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night and I stand up quickly, I need to touch something not to fall over. Uh, but in normal life, especially when you know it's not that you're pushed physically, but that someone pushes your mental button, and that can be touchy. You can feel it. You can say, okay, you're you're touching something that strikes me, and then I of the first thing we always look at the others. The first thing say, oh, what you say there tells a lot about yourself, but also when you get touched, it also tells a lot about you, of course, not about the other, but it tells you why does this subject touch you so much? Where's the wound? Where's the old pain that's still there? And that's something to investigate.
Mhm.
Uh, First thing that comes to me, because I'm a Gemini, so I think quickly and I let go quickly, is let it go. Maybe remember it, but save it for another day. Move on, move on. Proceed with what you're doing, and don't pay too much attention to it. When it doesn't come back, maybe it wasn't so serious at all. But when you have time later on the day, when you have time for your daily meditation, which you all should do, made daily meditation. Uh, yeah, then come back to this moment where you were where you felt thrown off, where you felt imbalanced, and look for look for this moment of equilibrium, and then look for what was it that triggered you. That's the most important thing, and why did it trigger you, and what do you have to work through there.
I am so glad you touched on it because very often we tend to blame other people. We tend to look at other people, forgetting to look at ourselves. And ourselves, it's actually the first place we should go and look. So I'm really glad you brought it up. And our dear viewers, please write in the comments, how do you gain your balance and what balance means to you in the first place? I would love to see what is your opinion on that subject. To me, I find balance with breathing and movement. Those are my two superpowers, which always help me to get back into myself. Breathing is an absolute superpower given to us as a gift which helps us to overcome everything. When we're in a peak of moment, in a peak of emotion, especially in a peak of anger, for example, we tend to just get into that fiery energy. Very often we want to punch somebody or something, for example. And the best way to stop this crazy energy is to just take a deep breath in, hold it, and then slowly let it go and hold it again. And few times I can guarantee will change the entire perspective. You will feel better. The body, which usually when we get angry, uh, restricts the oxygen flowing through the organs because it's needed for the organs which will actually take part in, for example, fighting on or escaping a situation. I
Yeah.
can guarantee you that things will be restored very quickly. Another thing is movement. You can change every state of emotions by physical movement. If I feel that something is out of balance, what I do is I play my favorite music, the one which gets me dancing, and I simply dance. Dancing is healing. And if you'll do that, there is no way that you will feel that tense emotion for that long. Obviously, it may still be there. However, I can guarantee you that it will help. And Creative Soul Tarot says, I always find balance in nature. I walk for miles with music or podcast or sometimes in silence. I also listen to my body and obey when it's calling for rest and care. Julie, thank you so much for that wonderful and beautiful comment, because that's another secret of bringing back and welcoming balance into our life. Mother
Yes.
Nature has its own ways of nurturing us, bringing us that energy we need and crave. That's so true. My always go to is the ocean. I always say that I'm so in love with the ocean that I can't live without it anymore, because that's the way when I rejuvenate myself.
Self care is, like Judy says, very important.
Mm.
Rest and care, uh, take a shower or a bath, put on some incense, some nice music, uh,
Candles, yeah,
candles,
fire.
do the work, and what you say about dancing, it's actually there's a wider perspective there. Anything you can do in full awareness, in fully present, whether it be running, sporting, uh, any creative art, making music, all these activities would take you out of the mind into the body, and out of the mind means when the mind is empty, there's place for new thoughts and new ideas and new solutions to your problem. That's the thing. And so the first thing I learned when I started, I experienced when I started playing drum, for instance, that it takes away everything. It
Mm.
silences the mind, and I love I love a quiet mind. And later on, I trained myself to to shut up here, because it's not me talking. It's an entity. The ego is
Exactly.
an entity.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you mentioned that. The mind is not us. It's just its own entity, its being, which barely shuts up, as you mentioned that. And very often we identify with those thoughts, and the mind can play so many tricks on us.
Takes
It's
them
actually
away.
funny sometimes. But what you just said, recharging and redirecting that energy can fuel something beautiful.
Yes, and what we have here, another remark from Creative Soul Tarot. Modern society loves to push the work until you drop agenda. We often made to feel that self care is bad. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. And the
especially.
the work until you drop agenda is the only secure way, the only safe and good way to get to a burnout.
Absolutely. The especially the corporate word feeds on that.
Feet
So,
on the burnouts.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's not go there. Let's find balance. Let's find justice. Let's find, of course, adjustment is also karma.
Mhm.
And not your dog karma, but the other karma, where something given is given back to restore justice uh, and that. So there's a lot there.
Yeah. What is karma? Is the consequences of our actions, long story
Yeah.
short. It's
Yeah.
what we give, that's what we get back. If
Yes.
we give good, it'll be multiplied. But if we give opposite of good, guess what happens? It comes back as well, one way or another.
It will.
And very often, um, and it's a tricky one, and we need to be careful to not intentionally try to do and build the good karma, expecting that it'll come back one way or another, because the universe has its way and the good will always come back. However, it may not come back in a way we would want it to come back.
Yeah. So give freely. Give without expecting something back, and bam, there you have it. it will be returned, sometimes threefold, sometimes ninefold, and sometimes from unexpected places.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, but within the justice card, let's talk about how it works with the justice card.
Yeah, how it works. Yeah, when you get the card, there's a few aspects you can in a reading when you have a tarot reading and you pull the card for yourself or a reader pulls it for you. Um, there's a few elements you can look at. Uh, the name. The name says justice. On many of the cards, you see a lady justice with a scale and a sword, blindfolded. Uh, so occasionally, in my experience, very occasionally, this card points to um, legal problems or something legal that needs to be solved or something legal that will be solved, uh, but to legality. Um, but in my experience,
Contract, divorces, stuff like
yes, yeah,
like
divorces and
literally,
the legal consequences of divorces. But
yeah.
in general, I would say in my readings, it most of the times comes to the things we have been talking about: the balancing, the balancing, the finding the consequences of your actions. So that's there's justice will be done. Also means justice will just be done, even without uh, the Department of Justice. You know, things get back to you, or people doing bad things to you. You don't have to. You don't have to revenge yourself. Revenge will be done.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I get a lot of people who are in pain, and yeah, that's justice will be done. So that's one of the first things, and then we have the fairness, like I said, karma, accountability, inner judgment, self reflection, very important. Self reflection, very important. The truth
We
is
were,
also justice.
we were talking about karma and she just woke up and what
I,
she did is just I'm
I
so
think something's happening
excited.
down there.
So you can see the camera moving and shaking. She's doing
Yeah,
everything to so I would cause
yeah.
attention. She's like, "Hey, mommy, did you call me? I'm
No,
karma."
no, no, karma, go to bed. We're talking about harmony and also harmony in your life and harmony with the ones surrounding you, whether it be persons or a sweet doggy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Luna, talking about cards.
Mhm.
What about some oracle
Oh,
today?
absolutely. I'm
We did
prepared.
we did we did some tarot last week.
Yes. I've got my three favorite decks, which I'm using every time around full moon or new moon. So I'm just quickly shuffling the cards. Tonight I will use Moonology cards, both decks by Jasmine Boland, and then another deck, Queen of the Moon Oracle. So
Wow.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pick three cards. One, two, and three.
I
I
see
hope
them.
yes. So you can pick the cards. How can I grab them so they would be visible? I'm struggling with that. There we are. There we
So
go.
you have one that have 3 months on top of each other.
Yes, that's
You have
great.
the full moon cycle with tiny moons in the middle, and you have the bigger moon cycle for the viewers on the left side.
That's correct. And how it works, you can pick either the card you feel the most drawn to, or you can read this as an entire message if you feel like you want to pick all the three cards or two. So it's completely up to you. So we have card number one here, card number two in the middle, and card number three. I'll start with card number one. If you picked card number one, oh, this is beautiful. A new start is coming. So it's interesting that on the full moon day we have a new moon, but it means that during this time between this full moon and the new moon, which happens in next 2 weeks, something new will about to start. Something new will come to fruition. It's also a sign for you to start now. If there was a project you've been thinking on, if there's something you wanted to create, or there is something within your heart which wants to be acknowledged, take action. Listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to your intuition, and just do it. It's also a sign that if there was, for example, something, a struggle, something challenging, that challenging time is now coming to an end, and the new doors, new possibilities will be open. Karma is going crazy right now, so if you can hear some backgrounds in the noises in the background, first of all, it's your confirmation to take action and focus on that new start, focus on that new beginning. Yes, card number 2. Oh, very nice. It's the sovereignty, queen of the moon. Beautiful, beautiful cards. It's the sign of standing in your own power, taking matters into your own hands. I want to show you the card. As you can see, she is holding things in her hands. She is powerful. She knows that she can create everything she wants. So basically, the message is stand your ground, stand in your power, use your voice, speak up, be confident within your actions. And if that's card you've chosen, card number 3, beautiful message, focus on the positive. We have here new moon in Sagittarius. The Sagittarius is the one which chooses the goal and focuses with its hour and shoots. And just like Jan say, what is it? Aim, fire.
No, ready, fire, aim.
That's exactly
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
Ready, fire, aim. Instead of ready, aim, fire, because you'd be aiming forever. You just have to let go the arrow.
yes. But it is important for you, for those who pick this card, to focus on the positive. Perhaps there is a situation which doesn't look too positive, with the situation which is out of balance. It's very important to focus on the positive aspects, to perhaps see it as a blessing in disguise, to look for something deeper, for a deeper meaning of that situation. Because very often in life, we get situations which we don't want. For example, my friend recently had a very stressful situation. She came back from work and her doggy ripped her carpet on the stairs, like completely. She got frustrated. She got angry, obviously. And after a couple of days, she decided that now it's the time to change the floor, because guess what? She hated that floor. And recently she texted me, you know what? I'm so happy that it happened because I finally did it. I wouldn't have done it if Bento wouldn't rip the floor. And that's the essence of sometimes bad things happen in order for something more beautiful to emerge. So that's me.
Wow, strong, Luna. I had a card that was quite affirming for me. I picked number 3. Focus on the
Mm,
positive. Wow, I
that's
never
what
do
I
that.
that's what I thought, because I saw your reaction, being happy, and that's what it is. Sometimes we need that assurance
Of
that,
course,
for example, what we do is a positive things as well. Because very often we make a decision without that certainty that it's a right way to do. And this card is a confirmation that yes, you're on the right path. Just keep your goal, focus on the arrow, point where you want to go, and shoot. And what is actually amazing, it's also a new moon. So this time between now and the new moon will be very significant,
Yeah,
especially for pile number 1 and 3.
yeah, yeah. And what struck me immediately was that we're in the week after the spring equinox, and we're in the week after the start of the astrological year. When we start with Aries again, being the first sign of the zodiac, leaving Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac. So there is a lot of novelty here. The spring is coming, the seeds are fruiting. We're planting the seeds, we're preparing for the harvest, which is still months away, but we're doing it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And the nature will back us up. The nature with the flow right now will make things happen if only we take action, if we plant the seed. And speaking of planting seeds,
Yes. Shall we plant some seeds?
yes, that would be
Okay.
lovely. That would be lovely. Julie
Okay.
says, before we go any further, Julie left a comment. Karma agrees with, yes, it's exactly what I picked on as well, with her doing all the noises and everything. That's another confirmation. And she says,
Yeah.
I chose 2, and it couldn't be more apt for me right now. I'm glad it resonates with you. I will have to rewatch it and pick my own card, because I love when we do it and I can pick, but this time I didn't.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch it and then pick my own card, which I'm excited for.
Ooh, yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy. Yes. Before we go any further, is there anything you would like to add in terms of the justice and the balance? If is there anything else we didn't mention?
I think we covered most of it.
Mm.
Yeah, we can talk hours for, well, and there we have it, of more correspondences of the justice card. But the major correspondence is that justice is related to Libra.
Mm. I encourage to watch the Fool's Journey, the series we create separately from our lives videos, when we focus on the card itself and the main lessons, and we go really deep with that.
Yep.
So we encourage you to watch the entire series. Next one will be the justice cards. We'll post it around Thursday. So watch this space, as we will go deeper. And yes, with that said, let's prepare ourselves for a time of going within.
Let's do that. Let's begin by making yourself comfortable. You're probably at home, or wherever you are. Make sure that you're in a comfortable and quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit or even lie down, allowing your body to relax fully. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling peace and calm, and take them into your nose, take them into your nose, and out to your mouth. Exhale any tension or stress. Close your eyes if you haven't yet. And as you settle into this space, set an intention to open your heart and mind to the energies of the full warm moon and the full moon in Libra. So let go of all disturbing thoughts, lay them aside, be present in the here and now. Then visualize roots extending from the base of your spine or feet, delving deep into the earth. Feel the stability and support of the ground beneath you. With each breath, draw up the nurturing energy of the earth. Feeling it fill your body with a warm, glowing light, grounding you in the present moment. Now, imagine the moon above you, full and bright in the night sky, bathing you in its silvery light. This is the warm moon, calling you to reconnect with the earth and its cycles. It's an ideal time for rituals that honor the burgeoning life force through planting seeds, both literal and metaphorical, signifying intentions for personal growth or the blossoming of projects and ideas. It's also a moment to celebrate the balance between light and darkness as days continue to lengthen in this time just after the spring equinox. The warm moon is signaling rebirth and the awakening of life. Feel this renewing energy washing over you, encouraging growth and new beginnings. Now, take a few introspective moments. Plant the seeds of what you will manifest towards the harvest that is to come. As with this, you plant the seeds of manifestation. As you bask in the moon's glow, sense its position in Libra, a sign of balance and harmony. Allow this energy to infuse your being, bringing equilibrium to your mind, body, and spirit. Now focus on your third eye, the center of intuition, located in the forehead. Visualize a radiant indigo blue light glowing at this spot, and with each breath, this light grows bigger, enhancing your inner vision and deepening your connection to your intuitive self. Imagine this intuition flowing through you as a stream of pure, clear water, cleansing doubts and fear, and leaving behind a profound sense of knowing and understanding. Have faith in this flow, letting it guide you and letting it guide your thoughts and emotions towards harmony and balance. Think of a situation in your life that requires balance or a decision to be made. Ask for guidance from the energies of the war moon and Libra letting your enhanced intuition illuminate the path forward. Listen quietly for any insights or sensations that arise, trusting in the wisdom of your higher self and the universe. Now, gradually bring your awareness back to your physical surroundings, keeping with you the sense of balance and heightened intuition. Become aware of your physical body. Maybe move your fingers, your toes, move your muscles. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and fully return to the moment. Take a few moments to reflect on your experience. Maybe write down any insights or feelings in a journal, or do that later. And write down the feelings that emerged during the meditation. Carry with you the peace and equilibrium you found, letting them guide you in the exciting days to come. And thank you. And welcome back.
Thank you for this beautiful guidance and for the wonderful space you created for us tonight.
You're welcome. And thanks to our viewers for holding the space with us in their own locations. Because that's also how it works. As you have seen this weekend, Luna, when you are online, even with a whole bunch of people, you create a space.
Mm.
Might not be physical, it might be virtual as we call it, but it's a space anyway.
It's energy, and energy doesn't need a body.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all. As
Yeah.
you can see, I'm very spaced out yet. I'm struggling to come back to my body because I went very deep
Yeah.
within that beautiful meditation.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a funny thing. Like what I've learned I have a meditative practice where I meditate on a daily basis. You can have long, stretch out meditations, but sometimes just 1 minute a day is enough. A minute a day, and then very focused on, I would say on your dreams, on your biggest dream. 1 minute a day, visualize this super moment, this superpower in yourself, visualize the super you, uh, half a year, 5 years from now? Where will you be? And that's the start of manifesting change, manifesting new things, manifesting creation. Uh, yeah, where you become the creator, where you become the magical creator. And once you are a magical creator, you'll find out that it's no magic to a magician.
Mm, yeah, and the magic lies in the feeling like it's already done. And obviously, we need to take action. I can't stress this enough. Things won't show up if we'll just meditate and dream. We need to take guided action towards it.
Yeah,
The
we do.
new start happens when we take appropriate action and when we stand within our own power. I
Yeah.
grabbed the wrong card.
The card with the queen actually is so two of wands for me.
That's so
It's
true.
also the choice. And when I pull the two of wands, I always say quite a lot. I have people that are that have the big dream of becoming uh, their own master. You know, of becoming an entrepreneur, starting up their own
Mhm.
business. That's so two of
Mm.
wands.
I'll pull this card, and it showed up for a reason. It says hot moon extremes, and
Extremes. Oh yeah. Oh
we
yeah.
have an image of the sweaty man. I'm waiting for the camera to pick on that. However, there is a glare, which, yeah, there it is.
Yep.
We see this fiery energy, which to me represents the Aries season, because Aries is the fiery energy. And sometimes we have to literally sweat and do the hard work. Sometimes good things come with the sweat and tears, literally. And this card to me is a confirmation that work, not necessarily hard work, but smart work, dedication, and giving it all will bring fruits to the surface. Extremes. And I love actually the glass of water here, which to me signifies that sometimes when we get too fiery, it is important to cool down. And meditation is a great way of taking the entire day, everything what happened, and just putting it aside and turning within.
Hmm. And I like in the card how the glass of water balances the fire.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm glad you picked on that because that's exactly what I meant with the energy of
Yeah.
fire and water balance.
Balance.
Both represent emotion, and fire being passion and the water being emotion. How
And the balance because fire is feminine, receptive, water is otherwise. Water
otherwise.
is receptive and feminine, and fire is masculine and
Mm,
active. And we find this balance, yeah, all over the place in our lives.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I love to work with you because it's that balance between feminine and the masculine energy.
between Luna.
And the druid.
So thank you all. It was a pleasure to have you here, and thank you, Luna. It was a great show. Thank you for the heavy lifting in the early part of it, and looking forward to our next day of working together.
Thank you very much and see you in the space.
Bye bye.
Bye.